Good evening, everyone. It's time for our rainy night ramblings again. The story we're going to tell today is about such a clever man who dug a hole for himself, a concrete one, and jumped in it and couldn't get out. The protagonist in the story is called Henry. He was 1.9 meters tall, big and strong, and used to be a wrestler. You think that build could take down a cow with bare hands. He runs a cement workshop in town and looks very honest and silent. But you mustn't provoke him. Why? Because in this kind of person's heart, there's a small plot of land. That's his forbidden zone. Whoever touches it gets unlucky. Henry, who has never been married, lives with a hound named Wolf. Don't underestimate this pet, everyone. For many lonely people, this dog is not a beast. It is a family member, a companion, a spiritual refuge. One day, there was a man in town also named Wolf who was hunting in the park. Henry's dog pounced on him, and in self-defense, Mr. Wolf shot the dog dead. When the news reached Henry's ears, it was like a bolt from the blue, no different from digging up his family's ancestral graves. The knot was tied, and it was a dead knot. What is the most amazing thing? Mr. Wolf, who fired the gun, he doesn't know. He killed someone's life and swaggered into Henry's workshop to order a cement bathtub for bathing birds. Don't you think this is a rush into the gun barrel? Henry had already made up his mind, smiling on the surface but not the flesh, and led Mr. Wolf to the backyard. There were two identical hollow concrete pillars in the yard. Mr. Wolf was rather puzzled and asked if someone had ordered the same one from him. "No, the other one is the tombstone I made for my dog," said Henry. Mr. Wolf took a closer look and saw words engraved on it, "In memory of Wolf." A real dog. He was rather embarrassed and apologized to Henry. And Henry, with a big wave of his hand, said it was all over, and then beckoned him to look at his pillar. While Mr. Wolf was bending down to look closely, Henry pounced on him from behind and grabbed him by the neck like a bear. A strong man against a dry, thin old man. Isn't that just a joke? In a few strokes, Mr. Wolf died. Then Henry stuffed the body into the tombstone he had prepared for the dog. Look at the thought, how cruel. He wants his enemy to keep his beloved dog alive for a lifetime in the dog's tombstone. Well, at this point, do you think the matter is over? A perfect crime. But you guys, there aren't that many perfect things in the world. As the old saying goes, if you don't want others to know, don't do it yourself. You think no one sees it, but there might be a crack in the wall. Say chow chow. Chow chow arrives. A big man named Jack, a truck driver, came in with the honking of the truck outside the door. As soon as he came in, Jack, with a forced smile, went straight to the pile of concrete slabs and said, "I need $1,000. The bank won't lend it. I think you'll lend it to me." Henry's heart gave a jolt at that moment. Jack went on, "Your wall is not very tight. There's a crack in it, and I can see everything." Now Henry understood that there was an audience for his own play. And the audience, not just for the show, but to share the box office. Well, Henry has gone from being an avenger to a murderer, and now he has a partner. But this kind of partner keeps you awake even more than the police. When the two of them seal the body in a concrete pillar together, it's bound. While they were busy, Mrs. Wolf called and asked where her husband was. Jack suggested that he tell a lie that Mr. Wolf was out of town and wouldn't be back until tomorrow to buy time. Look at how fast Jack's mind works, isn't it? But when Henry heard this, he felt a chill down his neck. He didn't think, "This guy is so smart." He thought, "This man can't be kept." Why? Because he knows it's extortion, like feeding a dog. If you give him 1,000 today, he will dare to ask for 10,000 tomorrow. It's a bottomless pit. So Henry immediately had a second thought. Silence. You see, the way he solves problems is always so straightforward and brutal. He asked Jack to stay in the yard and seal the openings of the 2 pillars, and then, under the pretext of going to Mrs. Wolf's house to inform him in person, hurried out. But what Henry could have thought of could Jack not have? Who is Jack? A scoundrel? A speculator? Could he not understand the saying, when the bird is out, the bough is hidden; when the rabbit is dead, the dog is cooked? Would he dare to bet his life and fortune on Henry's character? He must have a fallback option, a real trump card to save his life. The next day, the 2 drove to the place, pulling the pillar of the bird bathtub from Mr. Wolf's house. Henry found a nearly broken old pin and sneaked it onto the crane. He was going to make an accident and put an end to it. He got on the crane, sneering in his heart and looking down at Jack, who was directing as if he were a dead man. He slowly lifted the heavy concrete pillar and slowly moved it over Jack's head. Just then Henry's hand trembled. With a snap, the old pin broke. The huge concrete pillar came crashing down with the sound of the wind. Jack didn't even snort and was crushed to death on the spot. The pillar also knocked to the ground and smashed to pieces. The police arrived, and so did the neighbors. Henry was there pretending to cry his heart out, grabbing his hair and shouting. The police checked the machine and said it was an accident and the pins were worn out. You see, is Henry's plan perfect again? Just then, a sharp-eyed policeman pointed at the broken concrete pillar and shouted, "What is that?" All the people leaned in and saw, oh my God, a foot was sticking out of the concrete block. It was the missing Mr. Wolf. Henry was stunned at that moment. He thought he had made a mistake with the pillar, but when he took a closer look, yes, this was the one he had made for the Wolf family. What's going on here? It was then that he remembered what Jack had said to him before he left yesterday. Be careful not to hit me with the pillar, or you'll regret it. He regretted it, really regretted it. It turned out that Jack didn't believe him at all. While he was out, he secretly pulled the body out of the dog's tombstone and moved it to another pillar. Jack was afraid that if Henry dealt with the dog's tombstone later, he would have no excuse. He hid the body in the post, which was destined to be placed in public, and that was the safest trump card. Henry tried to kill Jack with the pillar, but ended up presenting his own evidence to the police. The final outcome, no need for me to say more. Henry's legs gave way, and he collapsed to the ground. He really regretted it to death. He intended to take revenge on the dog, but what happened? One revenge after another, I got myself into trouble. 2 villains, one dead and the other caught, can be said to be punished for evil. So, let's go back to the question we raised at the beginning. This Henry, do you think he's smart? He can think of hiding a body in a concrete pillar, and he can think of killing someone in an accident to silence him. That's enough shrewdness. But he forgot the most important one. If you can scheme against others, they can't scheme against you. Especially on a pirate ship, no one is an easy lamp. He thought he was playing a big game of chess, but in the end, he was the most foolish piece. This man is so shrewd and clever that he has ruined your life. Sometimes a little less scheming, a little more sincerity, and being down to earth can lead to a more stable life. Do you think so? Well, that's all for today's Rainy Night Ramblings. Thank you all for watching. Let's talk next time.